Hello, everyone. Welcome to the You Are Worthy Network. It's great to be with you guys on this Tuesday afternoon. Super excited to introduce you to our guest here in just a minute. But before we do, I do want to say I am super encouraged by all of you. We just celebrated the 500 member milestone a week ago today. And then as of right now, we're at 903 members. Who does that but God, right? Exciting, exciting. And I thank each one of you for the comments and the messages. And just a reminder, just like Crystal's about to be interviewed here, this is what we do in the You Are Worthy Network. It's about you. It's about putting the spotlight on you, your passions, who you're working with, what you've overcome. We want to hear your story. And so please DM me if you're interested in being interviewed, which a lot of people are starting to do now. Don't be shy. I want to spotlight you as well. So anyway, welcome everybody. I'm going to tell you a bit about our guest, and then we're going to jump right in. Crystal McRae is the founder of Real Results Mentorship and a sought-after sales and personal growth mentor who helps entrepreneurs, leaders, high achievers unlock their full potential with real help, with real results. Drawing from decades of study under legends like Bob Proctor and her expertise in mindset, psychology, and self-image transformation, Crystal empowers her clients to accelerate their income, expand their impact, and embody the version of themselves they were born to be. Known for her no fluff, high energy style, she blends timeless success principles with modern strategies to create permanent transformation and fast. I love that. I love that and fast part. Crystal, welcome to the You Are Worthy Network. It's great to have you.
Thanks, Steve. I'm grateful to be here. I'm very excited to be here with you and your network. And congratulations on the recent success of 900 plus members and followers. That's incredible impact already.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. For you guys listening, Crystal and I just met eyeball to eyeball a few minutes before we logged on. And that was the first time I'd actually had seen her other than videos. Crystal and I got to know each other, I would say, maybe about a year ago, a little less. And we've talked maybe a handful of times over the year. And she really is, I hope we get to encapsulate kind of how she works with people, because even in our conversations, which were by phone, really challenged my existing mindset and showed me where there was certainly holes in it, and I'm sure there still are, but such a positive and encouraging, and she's a warm, encouraging, positive person, but also has a lot of tools in her tool belt to help you get where you're going. So I'm just really excited to have you with us today, Crystal. Crystal, tell us a little bit about yourself. What part of the world are you in? Tell us about your family.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to. So I am located in Canada in a province called Saskatchewan. So if any of you follow Chaparral Roan, I think is her name, she mentions our province in her song, and it's really put us on the map with that. So living in a very small town, I often describe its size as we have dirt roads. We don't even have paved roads. We have dirt roads. We live in a very rural community, but it is extremely safe. It's a tightly knit community. And we are surrounded by fields and pastures and the most glorious sunsets. We are the land of the living skies. So I am a country farm girl at heart. I was born and raised in our Queen City, Regina, Saskatchewan, but I have always been a little farm girl at heart. And so I have two boys. They are both teenagers now, just turned 17 and 14. And I retired actually back when I was 28 years old. I am now 45. And I retired at the age of 28, ultimately because I wanted to stay at home and I wanted to raise the babies. And I didn't want to, work away from the home. I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to bake the bread, have the garden, be the housewife, the farm wife. And I had an opportunity to live that dream. I had turned that dream into my reality. But then through a course of events, my then husband and I decided to go separate ways. And so I moved off the farm into town. But had a really big decision to make, and that was, do I now, as a single parent, go and get a job and commute an hour to the city and back and have my kids in daycare, or do I figure out how to stay a stay-at-home mom and be able to provide as a single parent for my family? And although I met with a lot of resistance from very well-meaning family, I really had to follow my inner guide and figure out a way to stay at home. And that's really the beginning of, how you and I ended up meeting. That was one of those defining moments that built or set the trajectory for my life. And I'm so grateful that I mustered up enough courage to just listen to that little voice that went against the grain, if you will. So anyway, that's a little bit about where I come from and my family.
I love that. And I love doing these interviews too for the obvious reasons, but you learn things about people. Like, I have three children. I have an 18-year-old daughter who's out of the house now, but my two boys that are still in the house, 17 and 14, we have that in common.
Awesome.
And I didn't even know that. So that's cool.
Oh
Um,
yes.
I bet your resolve in that decision to stay home and take care of the boys, the opposition, however strong or subtle it may have been, but tell us about having to keep that commitment. I bet the resolve had to be there consistently. Am I right?
Still to this day, there are many times when I still to this day think, God, should I just go, and there is nothing wrong with having a job and working for someone at all. But there are still times when I thought, gosh, like, would it just be easier to take that route rather than take, I'm an entrepreneur by in my heart. I love to create, I love to serve, I love to make a difference. And I have certain talents and gifts that I've been equipped with to do that. And so still to this day, every now and then I go, oh, is this really worth it? Or, did I do the right thing? And whatever that case is. But it's funny, Steve, because I will share this. I did buy into the suggestions and um the idea of just get a good job with benefits and security, you have a family to raise, you've got to be more responsible and all that kind of stuff. And I did accept a position. And the way I broke down on my very first day to that job, not because I had a job, but because I was on the highway and it was very dark and it was winter. And I was on the highway going, this is my life. This is my life. And I said it 3 or 4 times. And each time I asked that question, I grew more and more dissatisfied with this idea being my life because I knew it wasn't the life I wanted, and my circumstances and my conditions changed big time. Where my the kid's dad, he was earning a lot of money. I didn't have to work. I could do whatever I wanted. I was home with the babies. And then I transitioned into this life, but it's not the life I wanted. It was the life that I thought other people thought I should have.
Mhm.
And I lasted 2 weeks, and the whole time I shouldn't say this, but the whole time I'm there, I was building out my new business, model, during breaks and stuff at this job so that I could open up my first business in town, 2 weeks later. So, I did try it on, if you will, but I felt my soul die is the best way I could describe it. It just died, and I just said, "No, no, like, I'm gonna figure this out one way or another." And I'm just really grateful again that somehow I mustered up the courage, the grit, the faith, to just follow my heart.
Yeah, that's such an encouragement, I'm sure, to many listening that maybe feel stuck in the job, maybe you're on the fence about doing exactly what you've done and been successful at. I think that's a great example, Crystal, to many people to follow your heart. And you have to go after what's best for you. So help us understand now who it is specifically you work with and how do you help them?
Yeah. Such a great question. I love answering this question. And it's really it's who I was, years ago. It's someone who has a dream. They have a vision. They're visionaries. They want to make an impact. They want to make a difference. They have unique talents and gifts that they would like to bring more to the world and help people improve the quality of their lives in whatever capacity that looks like. And so they have all of that, but they're stuck, right? And they've tried working harder, doing more. They've done conferences, courses, they've read the books, they've watched hours and hours on YouTube, they've done the free master classes, and I mean, my story is not very unique because it's very similar to most people. And we're looking for answers, we're looking for that thing. And so I help people who are there, who are like, you know what? I don't want to waste any more time. I don't want to waste any more money. I want real help that's going to give me real results, real fast with real people. Like they just want, tell me exactly what to do. I will do it. And then because I want results. And we are very much results driven and focused because my only objective, and I'm very clear about this, is to not teach anybody more information. In fact, that is probably, Steve, one of the biggest problems, more so now than ever before, is our access to information. It is not closing the gap between what we know and or where we are and what we do. And it's a cute little quote, that the more you know, the better you do, but it's not necessarily true because we have people
Mm,
walking around with encyclopedias of information and they're not getting the results. And the worst part about this, Steve, is when we know so much and we're either trying really hard or we're doing things we know not to do that are getting us results we do not want. And we're so frustrated that we turn this against ourselves and we go, well, I must not be good enough. There must be, what is wrong with me? And then we start to build this identity that there's something wrong with us. And that becomes the bigger issue. So the people that I help, yeah, they're looking for real help, for real results. They're tired of trying harder and doing more and literally go, there's got to be a better way. And they're just on a mission to find the answer. And that's exactly where I was. I was like, this doesn't make sense how a person like me can be trying so hard, putting more effort than most people that I knew. I knew a lot. I went to all the conferences, all of the trainings, but I wasn't breaking through. I was doing okay, but I was not breaking through and I was not getting the results I knew I could get. And I just said enough is enough. And I coined that moment. We all have that moment where we say enough. I am not doing it like this anymore. And we just set off in pursuit to find that answer. And for many people, we are that answer.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm thinking to my history with coaches, and I've had coaches pretty much, I was gonna say off and on, but pretty much on for the last 6 years. Matter of fact, I'm currently without a coach presently. I feel like I'm surrounded by a great support team, so I'm blessed that way, but I don't have a one-on-one coach right now, but I have many over the last 6 years. And I guess what I would say, and I'm going somewhere with this, is they've helped in some ways. I want to give credit to where credit's due. But I think I like to go up to 30,000 feet. Like when I look at my real dreams, passions, and goals that I have for myself, did those programs move the needle? Maybe a little bit. but I needed it to be way over here. And I know you'll do this in a very humble way, but what sets your program apart from all the noise out there?
Yeah. Yeah. It's noisy. And I think that everything out there has a purpose. I have done lots of courses, lots of personal development, lots of shelf help. We call it, instead of self help, shelf help, right? Because we read the book and it goes on the shelf, and then
Yeah.
our results don't change, right? And honestly, and I can only speak to my own experience and then how I serve others. And the big difference here is that most people don't know where their results actually come from. And it's that lack of understanding that it causes us to not fully get to where we know we could go. Because if we knew where our results come from, then we would know exactly where to go to improve them, tweak them, whatever that is. And it is that study of ourselves and how our mind operates and how this universe operates that enables my clients to get those real results real fast. It's through that understanding and application, and through a very precise and structured system, because without structure and system, we tend to drift. And that part of us that we're going up against, especially in pursuit of a real big goal, and we only believe in setting C goals, which are big, bold, beautiful, bodacious goals, because we have the potential. Um, I lost my train of thought there. I was going to go on a little bit of a seminar about goals. Um, Maybe it'll come back. Oh, it's gone now. It was a fleeting thought.
I, I have that happen all the time. Um, so would it be fair to say that it starts with a decision?
Here we go. My favorite. Um, it starts with, and absolutely nothing happens until a decision is made. So Stephen, in my experience, most people have a goal. That you'd be hard pressed to find someone who doesn't have a goal, whether it's to be
Right.
in better health, to improve their relationships, to do better in their business, to have more confidence, to whatever that is. So it's just in part of us to want to become more, do more, have more. There's really nothing we can do about that. It's just part of us. We're here to grow. That's our purpose. But what holds people back ultimately is that decision, because they'll often say, well, I'd love to do this, but I don't have the money. Well, I'd love to, go and do that, but when I've lost 30 pounds, or I'd love to improve this, but there's always a but, and that but is circumstances. And a decision is something that we make regardless of circumstances. And we only consider one question: not can I afford it, not am I worthy, not am I good enough, not do I have the education, the support, or any of those things that most people will go to make a decision if they want to do something. But the only question we consider is, do I want? And we have to go, what do I really want? Not what do I think they want for me or my husband or my kids or my community or whoever, but what do I really want? And when we know what we want, we have to decide to trade the rest of our life to becoming that person, doing those things. Now, the big difference with a committed decision and thinking about doing something is that when we're interested, we'll only do it when it's convenient, when we feel good, when things are going well, when we have the confidence, when we have the energy. But when we're committed, we do it no matter what. We only accept results and not excuses. So many of us are interested in our goals, but a decision is always backed by action. Or like when we decide what we're going to have for dinner tonight, if we watch our behavior, something happens. We pull out the chicken, we check the cupboard, we pick up, some peppers from the grocery store. We're not just thinking about having chicken for dinner. We've made a committed decision. We cannot be afraid to make a decision when we don't have it all figured out. And then there's 3 D's. So there's desire. The first D is desire. So we have to have a burning desire for chicken for supper tonight, right? Then we have to make a decision that we're going to know whatever it takes, we're going to be willing to pay the price. Now, most people say they'll do something until they figure out what the price is. And then we'll go, I don't think I want to pay that much for chicken. Okay. But again, that's being interested and not committed. So when we commit to having chicken for dinner tonight, we'll pay the price, whether we have to go all the way across town to get the chicken or pay premium or whatever it is. But then the third D is discipline. And discipline is often where most people kind of play this dance. They've got the desire, they'll make the decision day 1, day 2, day 3, but somewhere within the first, second, or third week, something happens and they start to waffle, they start to waver, they start to do this little dance of maybe I should wait till the time is right. Maybe I should wait till I have more money. Maybe I'm not ready yet. And so discipline is the third and final D in getting real results.
Desire, decision. What was the third one?
Discipline.
Discipline. Wow, that's
And
eye-opening for sure.
one thing on discipline, which I love to learn, this is none of this is my information. This has all been handed down to me from lineage of mentors and coaches, but discipline is giving ourselves a command and following through with it. And when we make a decision, then it comes down to giving ourselves that command every day and following through with it when we don't want to, when it's hard, and when we're tired.
I love that. Okay, so I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball. Don't overthink this, but let's take a client of yours or a sampling of your clients. And those watching know I do this from time to time. Think of just 3 words to describe how they may have felt before working with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then give me 3 words to describe how they felt after working with you.
So good. Felt before working with us, frustrated, lost, and defeated, I would say. They've tried long enough. They just don't know what something's got to give. Frustrated because they don't know what else they can do. What was my second one? Lost because they've gone after that goal. They just, they feel kind of lost. They don't have a clear direction. How they feel after, confidence. Number 1, hands down, every single time. But it's this confidence that can only be developed from within. It's this confidence that nothing and nobody can take away from you. It's something that's developed and strengthened. And you can't buy it from Amazon. You can't get it from a book. You can't get it from an achievement. It is something that becomes of you. Confidence in your own ability to become, do, and have whatever it is that you desire. Hands down, confidence. Peaceful. That's usually a big goal for a lot of my clients. Once we get past, a lot of the surface level goals, they just don't want to have to worry all the time. They just don't want to have worry and anxiety all the time. So we replace that with peace. Again, it's not circumstantial. It's not when those things are in place, then I'll feel at peace. I feel at peace regardless of what's going on outside of me. So confidence, peace, and joy, and also fulfilled. And there's a sense of pride, which we want to be a little bit careful with the ego there, but fulfilled is just like they feel like they have a sense of purpose now. They have a clear direction. They know what they want. They know who they are. They know where they're going. And it's not a matter of if they'll get there. It's just a matter of not even when. It's just a matter of experiencing the growth.
Yeah, I mean, that's remarkable, the night and the day comparison of before and after. And I'm even thinking about when you use the word peace, of course, that's pertaining to their goals, their dreams, their life. But even an added benefit, and I'm not trying to go down a road that we don't need to go down, but like there's so much turmoil in the world right now, to have that kind of peace that's not circumstantial. It's an added bonus, right?
Huge, huge. The world, and that's the thing is the world, there's always going to be a rhythm and there's always going to be things going on. And if we're waiting for the world to figure itself out before we can feel at peace, we'll never get there. And so peace is something that we can actually bring upon ourselves with a change of consciousness and just learning about the power within. Nothing outside of us is greater than the power within us. Now, we may love that idea and we may intellectually know that, but are we embodying it? Is that our automatic way of life? Often not. And so we go through a process of reprogramming ourselves, essentially coding ourselves to live in a better state.
Yeah, I love that. So, okay, it sounds like you're hitting on all your cylinders right now. You're loving what you're doing. I've been on one of your mastermind call, or mastermind was it? I guess it was a webinar, maybe a few months back. You're a very good teacher, very good communicator. You know, you know your desired client and how you can help them. And obviously, we just saw just a sampling of results. Something tells me it wasn't always this way. There was a time when you didn't feel like you were enough, didn't feel worthy. Uh, was there one of those periods or more in your life? Is there one you can share with us?
Well, absolutely. I would say honestly, that is how I lived for 37 years. I was 37 years when I feel like I woke up to the truth about us, um, to understanding why we are the way we are and how we work. And so for most of my life, looking back now, I can see that I never felt like I was enough. I was, more so than worthy was I just never felt good enough. Okay, I'm going to share this story with you. I had once been invited to go to a supper with a table of multimillionaires, and I was not a millionaire at the time. And I remember being like, wow, okay. Wow, like I got invited, like me. And we were in New York and we went to this extremely, very nice restaurant. And I sat down at the table and all these very successful people, very nice people, not intimidating, very, very genuine and open people, beautiful people. So it wasn't them, it was me. And they started sitting down and I started to become so uncomfortable. I literally was crawling out of my skin. And I can hear in my mind, like, you don't belong here. Why would they care about anything you have to say? And keep in mind for every day up until that point, I would wake up and have two thoughts. You're an idiot and you suck so bad. Okay. But to the outside world, I had it all figured out. I was this rock star leader. I was super confident. I had it all. I was a slayer, all this type of stuff. But inside, there was a whole other story written. So I was, people call it imposter syndrome. I just had a very limited self image deep in my heart. So I'm at this table and I'm just like, I can't be here. I don't belong here. I am not good enough to be at this table. And I said to my friend at the time, I said, I'll be right back. I got up and I left and I left the restaurant.
Wow.
And eventually my friend was like, I don't think she's coming back. And so that just shows you, like many of us, and like myself included, I can speak from that, where I just never felt, even though I was getting the results, even though people were speaking so highly about me, I was getting invited to these types of tables inside, I was never enough. And I can get into why, but I mean, it doesn't matter what happened. What matters is we become aware of the fact that this is a belief that we have. and it is not true. And then what we want to do is unlearn that belief and relearn who we really are. We talked before coming on to this call about the 3 questions that I have just about everybody ask themselves. And we answer this for the rest of our lives. Who am I? Do I really know who I am? I'm not my name. I'm not my body. I'm not mom. I'm not, an entrepreneur or a nurse. If we strip away all the titles, all the labels, our age, our weight, our bank statement, right? Well, I'm a good person. No, that's a personality trait. Who are you? And we don't even know who we are. And then why are you here? And then and the third question is, what do you really want? And I had never been asked that for 35, 37 years. What do you want, Crystal? Right? And the moment that I answered that question and I stepped into it and I said, I want to make a difference. I want to help people. I want to leave a legacy. I want to make an impact. And at the end of the day, I just want to help other people succeed. But that was the first time that I fully owned it. And that was the day that changed my life. And that was the day that I ended up working with my mentor. And that was 8 years ago. So yeah, who are you? Why are you here? And what do you really want? That'll change your world.
I love those questions. I wrote them down because I need to ponder them myself.
Yeah.
Um, I love that. You've given us lots of nuggets today with those 3 questions, with the 3 Ds, with your story. Um, Tell us what's next? More of the same? You've got something exciting coming down the pike? What's going on with you?
Mm, this year has been a year, when you remodel your house and it's like you start in one area and you're like, let's do the kitchen. And then you do the kitchen and all of a sudden you're like, well, the rest of the house needs updating. And so you just start, so this year has been a complete remodel. And the remodel came from the realization that, oh, we can do so much better. We've been doing great for our clients, but we can do so much better. And so it has been a year of total upgrade. Nothing in this business model programs has stayed the same. But I've really struggled with what's next because I have a hard time niching down, right? I don't know about you, but it's just like I want to help everybody with every problem they have. Um, but what I really want to do is highlight in those people that are in sales. Um, there is such a need for proper understanding of sales psychology, how to become a professional salesperson, how to grow in confidence. You can have the best product, the best coaching program, the best whatever that can literally change the lives of somebody else, of other people. But if you can't sell, nobody gets served, right? If we can't sell, nobody gets helped, nobody's life changes. And Bob Proctor, I think was one of the greatest salesmen that ever walked this planet. In fact, when he would fill out forms and it would say occupation, he wouldn't say motivational speaker, mindset teacher, CEO. He wrote salesperson. And I'm going to leave this, and I think we're coming to the end, but what Bob sold and what I sell is you, whoever you are listening, you, on your potential, on your ability to become, do, and have, whatever's planted in your heart. That's what we sell. It's you on you. And that's what I loved. And when I started to understand Bob's philosophy around service and selling and money, that was it for me. I was like, I want it. That speaks to me. I love it. And I adopted it right away. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm focusing right now. As much as I want to, and we go in all types of directions, but I'm going to laser in on entrepreneurs, leaders, managers, business owners that want higher income and higher impact.
Yeah, Crystal, you're such a pro. You knew that I was getting ready to possibly ask you what words of wisdom to leave the audience with. So let me encapsulate that. Crystal helps sell you on you. Think about that for a minute. You are your brand, but do you believe in yourself? So I love that. Crystal, we're going to put your links in the description when we're done, but tell people real quick where they can find you.
I don't believe in websites. This is the first year I've had a website. I built my entire business without a website. I'm going to be old school, and I'm like, you know what? Let's hop on a call and have a conversation. That really is the best way to connect with someone and find out if you can help them. So you can send an email to crystal@unblockacademy.com. I think we're going to share my site. But ultimately, if something resonated and you'd love to explore more or talk about it more in depth, the topic that we talked about here today or whatever that is, I prefer to hop on a call. It's just a really good conversation. So that's the best way to get in touch with us.
Can they find you through Messenger and set up a time to talk to you that way?
Yes. Yes, of course. Crystal
Oh,
Lenvoy McRae
yeah,
or
don't
McRae
have it pulled up
Lenvoy.
right now. I think it's
Yeah, yeah.
McRae Linvoy. Yeah, I think it's that one.
It'll be out there.
Crystal
Yeah.
McRae. Yeah, I'll have it in the show notes. It'll pop up in the description, your full name.
Super.
Crystal, thank you so much for sharing with us
Thank
your
you.
experiences, words of wisdom, words of hope that we all need. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Can I just say one last sentence that I love
Sure.
on the hope? If we have hope for the future, there's power in the present. And that sometimes is everything to one person. If I have hope for the future, that means there is power in this present moment. So I love that at the end of the day, if we can have hope, we can get anywhere.
We have hope we can get anywhere. I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Crystal.
you.
Guys, we're about to wrap it up, but I love this time of day because I get to remind you, because I doubt you've heard it today. So if I get to be the only one, it's my honor to tell you, you are worthy. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of respect. You're worthy of success. Even in your toughest days, you're still worthy. And when you're on top of the mountain, yeah, you feel worthy then. But I'm telling you, you're worthy every single day. And your story, wherever it is, your story's not over yet, not by a long shot. I love you guys. We'll be coming at you soon. God bless.